AITA for telling my mother that she needs to stop obsessing over her dead son, and she will lose all her kids if she doesn't. When I was 7, my 3-year-old brother Callum passed away. All I know is that Callum passed away from an illness. My sister Erica and brother Johnny were both 1-year-olds, for context. Since Callum died, my mother has been obsessed with it. Nobody was allowed to step inside Callum's room because we would ruin it. She turned the living room into a shrine for Callum. Every year my mother would throw these elaborate birthdays for Callum and buy gifts for him. Callum's gifts were not allowed to be touched by us and were just kept around the house, same with Christmas. And at our own birthdays, she would always have a memorial chair and shrine for him. Instead of singing happy birthday, she would make everyone go around the table to share memories and well wishes for Callum in heaven, and would get mad if we hadn't told our friends stories about Callum. And every night before we ate dinner, our mother would have us all talk to Callum from heaven. My siblings and I spent our entire childhood in Callum's shadow. If we were anything other than thrilled about it, my mother would scream at us saying we were so selfish because she lost her son, and we will never understand her pain. Her family would just tell us you only get one mother, so treat her well. She also has an online support group encouraging her that her obsessiveness is normal, and a therapist who is probably telling her whatever she wants, so she keeps paying for sessions. I mentally couldn't handle it. So when I was 16, I chose to live with my dad full-time. Erica and Johnny both joined us about a year ago when they turned 16. I got a DM from my mother the other day. I didn't think to block her online as the only social media she uses is Facebook, and I don't have an FB account. My mother said how she's lonely and wants her children to move back. She also scolded us because none of us came to this year's Callum birthday party or have been sending wishes for him at her online FB events. I got angry and told her she needs to accept the past is over and stop obsessing over Callum, or she will experience the pain of losing a child all over again when we stop talking to her. She got angry, so I blocked her. My mother's family and friends say that I went way too far. I have no idea what it's like to lose a child, and I owe my mother because she gave me life and provided for me. But we don't live in a black and white world where her only options are either forgetting Callum or obsessing over him every day at every occasion. She didn't choose to lose Callum, but she will choose to lose us if she doesn't stop obsessing over him. I've had to delete my social media because people keep telling me how awful what I said was. So Reddit, AITA.
Am I the a-hole for telling my fiancé I won't proceed with our wedding if he insists on inviting his female friend? My fiancé has a female best friend since childhood. Now I'm not the person who gets jealous over my partner being friends with the opposite gender. I'm bisexual, so it wouldn't be rational of me to have some weird expectations like this. Plus my fiancé has many female friends as a straight guy, and I have friends of both genders as well. What bothers me here is not the gender of the friend but whether or not they're able to respect boundaries. So I'd make the same talk if the friend in question was a male. So to the point. His female best friend, Rachel, has always been in competition with me regarding on who's more important and a bigger priority to my fiancé. At first my fiancé failed to stand up to her and set boundaries, but after a small break we had and after we reconciled, he realized the importance of boundaries and set hard boundaries with her. I know that whenever she sees me or hears about me she's not happy, but we act kind to each other despite our actual feelings. Now that we are planning our wedding, we picked out our groomsmen and bridesmaids, and my fiancé has his female friend as one of his groomsmen, a groomswoman. After my fiancé asked her to join that role, she texted me a lengthy paragraph which, to sum it up, said, "Just so you know, your fiancé and I are still each other's priority. You may marry him and have kids with him, Share a house with him, but right now he picked me as a groomswoman, knowing how that would bother you because he cares about not hurting my feelings more than your feelings. You can't easily ruin friendships like that. Just stay in your lane and accept your place. You might be his wife, but I'm his best friend and I'm not going anywhere. Make peace with it, and who knows, soon enough we might get along. I showed my fiancé and he said he'll deal with her and I shouldn't worry. I told him I've had enough and that the only solution I'm accepting is proper consequences for her actions. That means she's either dropped as a groomswoman or uninvited. He makes the call for which one it will be, but I'm tired of his best friend not having real consequences of her actions and getting her way. I won't trust him enough to proceed with our wedding if he doesn't set clear limits and make his friend face the consequences of her behavior. He said what I'm doing is very unfair because he is not responsible for her actions and feels like I'm putting unnecessary responsibility and pressure on him. Am I the a-hole? The update probably came sooner than I expected and maybe than you expected as well. While I had this post up, I was sitting next to my fiancé. I told him that I don't want to ask feedback from family and friends and I don't want them involved in our drama, so I'd rather get some unbiased feedback here. He's been reading some of the responses, and while at first he was very defensive over his actions, he just now started realizing on how he has to reflect on this a bit more. I also explained to him once again in detail on why what I think Rachel is doing is bad and how it might destroy not just our relationship but any future relationship he might get even after we break up, because no person would be willing to stand for that disrespect. We are having a chat about it now and he's thinking of distancing himself from Rachel. Edit 2. For the record, he decided to uninvite her from the wedding completely and later distance himself from her.
Am I the bad guy because I told my girlfriend not everyone is attracted to you? I met my girlfriend Val a year and a half ago. We've been together exclusively for a year and some change. We have fun together, same sense of humor, interested in the same things. When we first met she had low self-esteem, so I would compliment her a lot and try to build her up. Now I think that was a mistake. Everything was smooth sailing, but for the last few months she's been telling me about different guys that have told her they're interested in her and would ask her out if she was single or have checked her out. First I was just like, okay, cool I guess, because I didn't really know how I was supposed to react. She continued doing it. Sometimes it was somebody she worked with, other times just some random dude she passed in a store. A couple weeks ago I said something about my female friend's girlfriend. Val said, "Oh, a friend's name is gay." I thought she was checking me out before. I pretty much just rolled my eyes at that. We went swimming a few weeks ago. After we walked by a couple guys, Val said, "Did you see that? They were checking me out." I seen them sitting there, but it didn't look like they checked her out. They just looked in our direction when we walked by. The last straw was last weekend. We went by my friend from work's house for a birthday party. My friend Will was there. Will is a really nice guy, can talk to anyone and make them feel welcome. He's also gay. Him and Val really got along and were chatting a while. Am I the bad guy because I told my girlfriend not everyone is attracted to you? On our way back to my place Val said, "I think Will might have a crush on me." I said, doubt it, he's just friendly." She said, "No, it seemed like he was interested." I said, "Will's gay." Val said, "Well then he must be bi because he was checking me out." I sorta snapped and said, "This has gotta stop. Everyone is not attracted to you or checking you out. Some people are just looking in your direction or being nice." She said, "Don't be jelly, I get looks," and you don't, her way of saying jealous. I said, "I'm not jealous, but this is beyond annoying. You sound conceited, it's a major turnoff." I ended up telling her she should go home that night instead of stay over at my place. I haven't really talked to her since besides a text she sent. She texted me Tuesday and said, "When you're ready to apologize for acting like a jealous a-hole, let me know." I don't think I should apologize, but maybe I was being jealous and this is something I should just deal with. Am I the bad guy?